All right, folks, so we've got some breaking news here, okay? The Iraqi Parliament has voted in favor of a plan to end U.S. troop presence in Iraq. Okay, this is huge news. This is massive news. Why is this massive news? This is massive news because the biggest thing we've heard, remember back in '03 into the run-up of the war, they were saying, we'll be greeted as liberators in Iraq, which was totally bogus. But this idea is that, they want us there. They want us to be there. They want our help. And so that's like the bedrock for staying there. And so if the Iraqi parliament basically votes in favor of a resolution saying, we don't want U.S. troops in our country anymore, that's massive because it means they're a democracy. That democracy is democratically deciding, hey, fuck you, U.S., we don't want you here anymore. Then you've got the whole, oh shit, like you inserted a democracy, now that democracy is voting you out. You see what I'm saying? So, it says, the Iraqi parliament voted Sunday to obligate Iraq's government, quote, to work towards ending the presence of all foreign troops on Iraqi soil. The vote represents a rebuke of the United States over its targeted airstrike on Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani at Baghdad International Airport in Iraq early Friday. Quote, we strongly urge Iraqi leaders to reconsider the importance of the ongoing economic and security relationship between the two countries and the continued presence of the global coalition to defeat ISIS. We believe it is in the shared interest of the United States and Iraq to continue fighting ISIS together. So, this is pretty massive. Also, more info on this. It looks like Trump and his goons attempted to stop this. It says the Trump administration tried unsuccessfully to persuade top Iraqi officials to kill a parliamentary effort to force the U.S. military out of Iraq. So, they're trying to take it out, okay? Looks like the people who are in the State Department are disappointed with this decision. Also, there's a piece in here that basically states that there were people from Kurdish and Sunni members of parliament who did not vote. So, I don't know how significant that is. This is very interesting. But this resolution is massive. Other news as well. There was a massive march that was basically people, mourning the death of Qasem Soleimani in Iran. Massive amount of people. And another piece, Iran has announced that they will no longer be following any of the limitations placed in place by the JCPOA, aka the Iran deal. They're going to be pulling out of that. European leaders don't want that. Macron and I think even Boris and Merkel are like, no, don't do this. I think because they have business interests in Iran. So this is really horrible, guys. We're not looking at a good scenario here. The Trump administration is continuing their threats against Iran, threatening war crimes openly, out in the open, just threatening Iran with war crimes, destroying cultural sites, which is obviously a war crime. And he's not stopping. The airstrikes are not stopping. They keep doing more and more strikes. That strike that killed Soleimani, that wasn't the only strike. They did another one yesterday, and I think maybe even another one on top of that. So, as of right now, this is total chaos. Now there are coalitions within the Senate and the House trying to invoke the War Powers Act. I believe it was Ro Khanna who's trying to there was an amendment to the NDAA that would prevent funding for a war with Iran that was removed by Pelosi. So he's trying to get that added now. So it's just a clusterfuck. So many things going on right now. Hopefully the escalations will not go forward, but we should pull out of Iraq. We should take our troops out. They don't want us there. Ultimately, it's a cyclical problem that just keeps continuing, right? We're fighting in these wars that never have any end. They don't have any specified goal, and that's the main problem. What does winning really mean? That's the thing you have to ask yourself. What does it mean to win any of these wars, right? There is no real definition of winning in this scenario. There's no end to these wars. There's no coherent plan. And there's actually some details coming out that Mike Pompeo has been, pushing Trump for a long, months now to kill Soleimani. So it looks like Mike Pompeo, who's in his administration, has had a lot of influence over Donald Trump. So this is actually good news that the Iraqi government is basically saying, hey, get the fuck out of our country, because it's time for the U.S. to pull out. There are no end to these wars. We need to lower our bloated-ass military budget, okay? And we need to use that on our own stuff as well as humanitarian causes all around the world, because this is a cyclical issue that is not helping anything, and there's no definition of winning for any of these. Hundreds of thousands of civilians. In this scenario, it'd be over 1 million civilians in Iran would die. And there'd be no foreseeable way out.